I'm Matt, and I'm inspecting a big house behind me here. It's an older home. It was built around 1920, and it's about 4,000 square feet. It's on a golf course. It's a little mansion. This is a follow-up video to an earlier one, by the way, so it's the same house. So one of the common issues, and this is not the first time I've seen this. This is a foreclosed house, by the way, if I didn't mention that. In these older homes, the windowsills tend to crush because this house is so big. This one's not super bad, but this wood windowsill actually tilts back toward the house instead of like this, so the water will run off. It's tilting back. So that's why you see all this little debris sitting in here, because when it rains it gets stuck in here. Instead of running off, it just sits there. And I said in an earlier video that I wouldn't be surprised, because I hadn't gone on the inside yet, except to just run through it real quick to see what I was dealing with. So what I said was, I think water's probably running down inside the wall and damaging it. So sure enough, I was right. I've been inside to inspect the interior since then, and I just wanted to make a follow-up video showing that my prediction was correct. This is the dining room of this house. Right over here, that's that window I was just at out there. It's wet right here. This is water damage. So this window is leaking water like I thought it would be. This is a moisture meter. Green is good and red is bad. Okay, so that's dry there. See that go up when I stick it in there? So this is soaking wet. So this is just what we can see here. There's probably more damage inside there than what I can see, obviously. That's probably been leaking there for a decade or more, so there's probably going to be some good damage in there, maybe some wood destroying insects. Oh, this floor is beginning to buckle right here too. This is another indication of moisture. I don't know if that's coming from the window or not. It's back away from the window about 3 feet. Something's causing it to buckle. Yeah, it's wet there too. See, this part of the floor is dry. Where's that spot at? A little more moisture in there. It'll go up a few clicks, you know, just because there's humidity in here. The house is unheated right now because it's a foreclosure. You can see that it's wetter there than it is over here. Over here I only get like an 8 on the moisture meter. And over here it's going up to 16, so it's twice as wet. So anyhow, water damage. The number one issue in old houses, I think, is water damage. It's the most destructive thing there is. Anyway, I want to go back in this kitchen. This kitchen's in an earlier video, but I want to revisit this a little bit. This is the butler's pantry here. This is not the main kitchen. I believe these are probably the original cabinets in here. Pretty nice butler's pantry. It's pretty big. This room's probably, I don't know, 8 by 10 or something. But this is the old cooler here, refrigerator, and there's actually a motor compressor in the basement that kept this cool. But they, you know, modernized this kitchen. They did a crummy job. They put these crappy cabinets in here. You know, this is probably done in the late 60s or 70s. So here's where the modern refrigerator would have went. That's the opening there for the fridge. There's a couple double ovens there. They're electric. You got an electric stove over here. But I just went, and then here's the other side of those. The cooler, the old-fashioned refrigerator. So this is cool, huh? If I were going to redo this kitchen, I would definitely keep this. These doors are probably oak. I'd strip the doors and maybe leave the frames painted. I like to do it that way so you get both. You get that contrast. But what you do with these now, you go, well, if this doesn't work, what are you going to leave it in here for? You should rip it out. No, you could use this as cabinets. You can put, you know, your box of Cheerios in here or whatever. You know? And that would stop. Oh, there it is. But see, this was the freezer part over here. There's where your ice went. These are cabinets up here. This was Chrysler and Copland, Detroit, Michigan. So, but anyway, that's why they leave stuff like this in these old mansions, you know, even though it's not functional anymore, it's cool. And, if I were going to redo this place, I would definitely keep those. So yeah, they put a drop ceiling in here, you know, really a terrible redo of this. It's, you know, what they could afford, I guess. Vinyl floor. My dad put a floor exactly like this in our side hallway over the east side of Detroit back in probably the 70s. So, you know, in a kitchen like this, you know, in a house, you know, big, nice house like this, you could spend, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, you see ridiculous numbers on these fix-up shows, but for 25 or 35 grand, you could probably make this a showplace in here. I redid my mom's kitchen. I think I mentioned in the other video. It was a big country kitchen. It was an 1895 farmhouse, and it's a little house, but it's a big kitchen. And it was a lot of cabinets, and I did all the work for nothing. But I spent $7,500 on cabinets and countertops, and they're hickory cabinets with a big 30-inch plate rack, you know, and put the plates in sideways, and then in the corners on each side of the window, like here, there's a French door there with the translucent glass, and then the rest of the doors are solid. Nice plate rack over the dishwasher. Nice new stainless steel sink. A high-end Formica countertop with a bullnose edge that looks pretty good for Formica. It's like a granite imitation. So, you know, that's what we spent on her kitchen. So you could multiply that by 2 if you hired it out, and 4 or 5 if you're going to put a kitchen in here. So you probably use a little higher end materials. So that's it.